What's going on again, YouTube world? I am back with the update video on the brake pads and rotors on the old 78 Ford. If you watched my previous video, basically what I did was I explained what was going on with the truck, basically like an update. So just to recap, proportioning valve is the only thing in the front of this truck that I did not replace, and it basically clogged up and caused my calipers to not release once I hit the brakes after driving it a couple of miles, and caused me to burn my rotors up, like burnt them up and turned them purple burnt. So got to replace the rotors and the brake pads as well. I got a little bit different of a brake pad. I had ceramics on it, but I went ahead and got a different, like a mid-grade or something. So pretty much in this video what I'm doing is I'm going to put the new rotors on and re-grease the bearings and things like that. So got the new rotors here. Well, this is one. The other is on the other side. And of course, as you can see if you watch the other video, this is in much better shape. Brand new. And of course, got the brand new brake pads, and these lug nuts are actually pretty old. I mean, these have been on the truck as long as I think my dad has had it, and they were even hard to thread on the old, well, the other rotors, and they're actually a little hard to thread on the back. So I went ahead and picked up a new set of lug nuts. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of selection, so I had to get ones that's got wheel locks on it, which I didn't think I need that. But so we'll put those on, a little bit of anti-seize to keep it keep it from sticking, and of course the wheel seal for there. So really the only thing left to do is I will probably let's see here. Of course, I'll have to take that off, stuff it in the hub there, and repack the bearing and all that good stuff, and put everything back together. Alright, so let the criticism begin. Yes, the only thing I have is some waterproof grease. I had a tube of grease, or a tub of grease. I don't know what happened to it, but put a little bit of grease on there, that way it has some in the center. And you want to grease up the bearing real good, and then I greased up the race real good, put the bearing in there, and then I packed some more grease in on top of it, and then you want to tap your seal in there. And I just used a no bounce. It's real easy, it taps in there pretty easy, so you ain't gotta really hit it hard or anything. And then just basically slide it on there. But before you slide the thing on there, I do remember you want to get the outer bearings ready, because I basically have to hold this thing and put the nut and everything on there so it doesn't slide off. So I got to get that bearing ready, and then I'll be ready to slide it on there. So let's see, just gotta stuff that in there like that. Washer, of course, it's not all the way up on there as far as it's going to go because of the grease seal, but just need to get it on there enough to get the wrench on it. Oh yeah, just enough to push the grease seal up on there. Yep, I should have a socket on this probably. That would probably make more sense. Be a lot easier, but for some reason, and I don't know why, I cannot find my socket to fit this. No idea what happened to it. But it is gone, I will tell you that. I have looked everywhere, and it is gone. Obviously, you don't want to tighten too tight. So I got to check and see what the specs are on something like this. Now I do believe that would be too tight. Alright, so once you get all that figured out, the Carter pin, like I said in my previous video, I do replace that every time, just because, you know, it just makes more sense to replace it instead of not replacing it. And a good pair of needle nose to bend nose makes good sense, by the way. It doesn't slip. Okay, and that ought to be perfectly fine. So, not going to loosen or tighten, and we're good to roll. Of course, before you go to compressing your piston and your caliper, of course you want to take your brake, the cap off of your master cylinder up there, so you can let it compress and everything. Let's see, I wonder if this will go. I got one of these things, thought maybe it'd be a little easier to use, a little faster. This is the part that I hate on these plastic daggone pistons. I'm always afraid of breaking them. Of course, that is an excellent sign. Compresses real easy, so therefore I know there's nothing wrong with the calipers. And you're asking, well, well, if your piston is compressing real easy, what makes you think it's a proportioning valve? Well, one, because that is the only part in the front of this thing, other than the actual hard brake lines, that I did not replace. And the fact that when all of this happened, it actually allowed both calipers to not release evenly. They both stayed compressed pretty much the same, because when I was trying to get it back here to the garage, I would let off of the let go of the steering wheel, and it wouldn't pull to either direction. So it wasn't seizing up on only one side more than the other. It was quite even. So that's how I know that it was that's the proportioning valve. Plus, like I said in the last video, there's a whole lot of, you know, older people that you know, they've been working on these things a whole lot longer than I have, and damn mosquito, and they know a thing or two about a thing or three kind of deal. So I figure they know what they're talking about, and they know what they're doing, and it's good to take advice from people that's, you know, older and wiser, we will say. And of course, you know, one of which was my dad, which he is no longer here. And I also have a friend that I didn't have him in the video, which now I wish I would have, but you know, all the years I've been doing my particular job that I do during the day, you know, I've met a lot of unique people, and met a lot of new people, you know, and one of which is one guy is a die-hard Ford fanatic nutcase, Crazy old fart is what I always called him. Well, here a few months back, he was out on his motorcycle and, you know, like typical, somebody wasn't paying attention, pulled right out in front of him, and you know, he is no longer here with us. And he actually came here and helped me do the headers on the truck. Let's see, the header, yeah, because the one side, that's when I had that trouble with the one side, I couldn't get it off. He actually came here and helped me. So, rest his soul. He is probably rolling high in some crazy Ford of some sort up in heaven and having a good old time. So, good old Craig. Like I said, crazy old fart, but he was a good guy. Now these, now this just slides. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing because I don't have the camera where it needs to be, but oh, you know what? I'm going in the wrong way. It basically slides right in there. Get it in the groove there. Because this one I put out from, banged it out from that side. Banged it out that way, so I figure it goes back in that way, right? You would think, but at this point, I'm not too sure. Because, like I said, well, I would say this is a learning experience for me here, but you know what? I've done this once. Don't remember though. It's been a while. I mean, that video was like, shoot, man, over 2 years ago. It might have been 3 years ago. Okay, maybe I do gotta go in from the front. Do not remember. I know there was a lot of alcohol involved in that day. And look at there. Gotta go in this way. Now I need my hammer. Alright. Okay. Alright, just line it up with the hole. And there's the bolt. Oh God, what's flying around my light? I think there's an airplane flying around in here. Alright, so got this little slider pin, caliber locking pin thingamajigget, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea. Got that pecked in there. Of course, you know, you want to have the hole dead center because I'm sure it's supposed to be like that. Tighten up the bolt, and there it is. I mean, good to roll. Got brand new set of pads, brand new rotor, re-greased bearings. Now the only thing left to do is we got some new lug nuts, and let's see here. Oh yeah, they thread on there good. And I actually, one thing you want to do is, you know, they may thread on to the studs real good, but one thing you always want to do, you want to test them on your wheel and see if they're going to fit good on for the wheel, and of course it does. Yeah, fits pretty good. So, and these won't look too bad. I mean, it was time for some new lug nuts, and they were really hard to thread on anyways, the old ones. So literally that is the only thing left to do. That's probably going to be it for this video, because like the other video, there's no point in watching the other side. It's exactly the same as this, except not as much light over there. I'd have to carry this big old heavy thing over there, which is, whew, if you have these halogen ones or whatever they are, then this thing's like an oven beating down on me in here, so it's really hot, so I'm not moving it over there. But that's pretty much it. The only thing left to do now is bolt the wheel back on, and of course tackle the other side, which with me not messing with the camera, I'll have the other side all together and done in like 10 minutes. So I've got other things to do, other things to get to today, so I got to get rolling. But we'll see you guys in whatever next project I'm working on.